evening everyone, round 4 GTSA. We are running at Squawka with the Red Bull X 2014 Junior. I'm just going to be quick. So we've started qualifying already, it's only 5 laps. I'm quickly going to share the link on social media. Shout out to all the guys that finished racing. If anyone wants to join me on commentary, maybe Donovan, I don't know if Trivs is listening yet, please feel free to jump into my chat pod. Sorry, I'm just multitasking here. Go do your business quickly. So yeah, we've got Gravity currently on the screen doing a bit of farming, our favourite commentator. Maybe if we're lucky he'll finish at the back this week. Shame to put a jinx on the guy, but it's always good to have him in the commentary booth rather. So far, with 1.5 minutes left, EcoBoost by 0.008 ahead of Ghost Killer pace. Let's see if EcoBoost improves on what's probably going to be his second last lap. It's 3/10 up. Fluffy Butt's just gone through 55.13. EcoBoost pips it 54.998. Makes me want to sell my PlayStation because he's almost a second a lap quicker than my times. Ghost Killer, all the pace boys in that little pace train, getting some nice slips through there. So Ghost Killer, Sam, the guys on their last lap. KBR EcoBoost is the first guy on track that will finish a 4th flying lap, so let's see what he does. Does EcoBoost improve his pole time? He does, goes 3/10 quicker, 54.8. Fluffy Butt not going to improve. Ghost Killer, let's see, there's a couple of the pace guys, Manu, Ghost Killer coming through, they're taking the 4x4 route. Neither improve. Sam stays 5th, Hollywood 6th, Manu's in 7th, Yanali stays 8th. See if Dutchman can improve. Will he have enough time? The race should be starting in a second now. And the 5 minutes are up, so that's our grid order. KBR EcoBoost, Fluffy Butt, Yasteel, Ghost Killer pace. Kalen says can't break 1 minute. I'm doubting that. I'm sure you're in the 50, would be a 55, 54 man, Kalen. Donnie, how's it going? Welcome. We're off. Just go watch the first corner and exit quickly so I can get rid of this strange background music. Sorry guys, I'm just going to let a couple laps go and then I'll have to go to the settings and see why it's playing music. I don't know if the game update or PlayStation update did anything, but got some strange background music. KBR EcoBoost leads from Fluffy, but he's got Ghost Killer right behind him. These three have broken away slightly. They got a second on here still. Everyone so far, Fluffy goes deep, holds his position, but loses a couple meters on EcoBoost. Yeah, still in fourth, Branava in fifth. He's with Sam and Hollywood. Hollywood down in seventh, Manny eighth, Gravity ninth, Dutchman in 10th, having a good battle with Jan Ali Canals. Got Kalen sitting in 13th at the moment. I'm sure he'll be moving up. Nice McLaren livery. So big dive there from Canals. Runs Jan Ali a little bit wide, opens the door for Kalen pace. There we go. That doesn't work because now we have no sound. If you're in the chat, just let me know. Say how's it, we'll fix the solution quickly. Sorry guys. Still got KBR EcoBoost from Fluffy from Ghost Killer, and then a bit of a gap back. I'm just going to burn my PlayStation quickly. Have to do this. I'm not sure why it's changed, but I'm sure you guys are here to watch racing, not me battle with sound menu. So here we go. EcoBoost holding on from Fluffy, but 0.4 of a second. They've got 1 second on your steel. Good lap from your steel last time around. Ghost Killer, I mean, fastest lap of the race. Your steel's 1 second back. He's got a train behind him of Branava and Sirius Sam. Then it's a little bit of a gap back to Hollywood in 7th. He's got Manny and Ravinti right behind him. We've got Dutchman further second back. Kalen's now up to 11th. Says he can't get into the 1 minute, but he's done a 55.4 there. Colonel's running 12th and Yanali 13th. But give us a shout, let me know who's in the chat if you're enjoying the combo, how your race went, and predict the winner for this race. Got a top group of 6 basically at the moment. They've broken away from 7th place downwards. First 3, then half a second, then 9/10 of a second, then you're still everyone else is half a second apart in the group. It'll be interesting to see what weather these guys get. In the Pool 3 race we had no rain, which was fun because I did a 2-stop strategy hoping for the rain, so I dropped from battle for 3rd all the way down to 8th. but it's still good fun. Stig, how did your race go? I see you joined the chat. Loving the pace livery. I'm sure Mr. Trivy was involved with that, or maybe you're still Serious Sam. Pace cards always look good. And then we have someone spinning there who's that Superman dropping all the way to the back. We just caught him on the other side of the wall from that zoomed out view. So Superman's lost, probably we'll see now, a good 8 seconds or so there, I'd say. So only 17 seconds off the lead, but on this track that's a long way. He's 10 seconds off his best on this particular lap. So if anyone wants to know how to do a 55.4, let's ride on board with EcoBoost for a little while. Watch Fluffy Butt in the mirror. EcoBoost just getting the gap for the first time up to a second, almost a second. Oh, well done. See, qualified second, spun to 13th, finished P2 Stig. We've got EcoBoost going wide. Does Fluffy come out the inside? He sits back. He's in his own battle at the moment with Ghost Killer. They've opened a small gap now near Steel. Quite a bit of fuel saving in this race if you're doing the one stop. So let's take a look. EcoBoost got quite a bit more fuel than Fluffy at the moment. Same with Ghost Killer. Yeah, Steel has more than the guys ahead of him. Sam a little bit less. Brunavain's doing alright. Hollywood's burning his fuel quite quickly. Raventy's alright. Pace similar. Colonel's also used quite a bit. Jan Ali still doing alright. So we've got about 3 guys that are on half a tank, and then the rest are all a little bit over that. Well done, Donnie, getting P9. I was doing mid 55s in our little practice we had before the race, and then I went and qualified on a 56 in 5th position. Got up to 3rd and then decided to take an alternative strategy, hoping for the rain. Ended P8. So see, Dutchman had a slow 8th lap. Must have had a spin there. He's now in last. Superman 8 seconds up the road. Jan Ali also fairly alone. He's got 1 second to Canals, and then getting to the train. Kalen with 3.5 seconds behind him, 3/10 ahead. The pace engine's warming up there. Time to start making the charge. Raventy just ahead. Mr. Hollywood 7th place. We're already on lap 8, so I don't expect these Pool 1 guys to be pulling funny strategies like me, but if they're doing a one-stopper, they'll need to go to lap 18, 17. 18 or 17, yeah, for the one stop. This music. Nice army-style livery there from Brunavain. What's nice about these cars, as you can see, everyone's custom helmet designs as well. So just looking at the results from Pool 2, we had Cutlass, Stignator, Quinton, and then Henny were your top 4 that are going to be in Pool 1 next week. Shout out to all 3 of them, 4 of them. Mr. Sniper, welcome to the chat. I'm by my lonesome if you feel like joining. I don't know, Trivy's not joining today, doesn't look like. I did send him an invite. Just reading the Pool 3 chat, he said he was in pain from something and had a couple of painkillers, so he's off to bed. So feel better soon, Trivs. Let's just run through this from the front. EcoBoost now has a 1.9 second lead over Fluffy. Fluffy's still used a little bit more juice. He's going to have to really start saving. I see it does look like it's getting a bit dark here. The light's gone from Ghost Killer. Yeah, Steele's closing in now in the battle for second, only 3.5 off the lead. Sam not too far back, 2 seconds. He's got Brunavain with him. Hollywood in 7th. Kalen ahead of Raventy up to 8th. Kalen only 10 seconds off the lead, doing a good job with fuel saving. We then have Raventy, Yanali, Kennels in the Mayfair gearbox livery. So they used the time with the early reveal on the car yesterday. Put their team colours on. Well done, guys. Superman and then Dutchman. And just while we're waiting for the first pit stop, saw some rain. Shout out to our sponsors, Zappa Gaming, with the awesome lucky draw prize for the season, a play seat challenge. That's a fold-up imported racing seat. Looks like quite a fancy fishing chair, so you could probably take that with you a bit. Then we have Track Art and TGN Racing Simulators, our long-term sponsors, always looking after us. They've given us some more Track Art kits as prizes, and we also have vouchers for the new TGN Race Room, the simulator room. Let's go check it out if you're in the Joburg area. I'm not sure if Van is watching the stream. If he is, maybe you can ask a question, or you guys can chat to him about it there, exact location, that kind of thing, but it is on their Facebook page. Very impressive sim rigs, your PC, PlayStation. I think they probably have most of the popular titles, but very, very well put together. If you're looking at buying a sim rig, obviously you can either get play seats from Zappa, TGN do the different aluminium modular design, so if that's something you're interested in, you can check out the designs at the race room on the rigs, test them, see how they feel, and if you like it, then you know what to order. So yeah, shout out to sponsors. EcoBoost 2.5 seconds there to Fluffy now. Probably got about 2 laps more fuel, but they only have to, Fluffy's got enough to make it 2 lap 17 it looks like, so it looks like everyone's going for a one stop. We've got quite a bit of hazy mist condition at the moment, where this is around about lap 15-16 when the rain is in theory scheduled to come. In the Pool 3 race, it just got very, very black for a while and then came clear again. So yeah, still sitting there saving fuel as usual. He's looking good. We've got Sam pitting now lap 15, so he's trying something different. He's going to have to do a 20 lap stint on the second stint, or he might have to pit again. Maybe he sees rain coming on the radar. But I like a wet race. It always throws a bit of spice into it. Who can time it the best, who can manage in the tricky conditions. Brunavane got a nice little party with Hollywood and Callan Pace. They're battling now at the moment over 5th. And Callan's done well to move up from 13th, because this is not an easy track, as most of you know, to overtake at the moment. So let's ride on the board, see what Callan does here. He takes a deep cutback line. Gets more speed out the corner. Let's see what happens. He's right behind Hollywood. Does he look up the inside? It's going to be a bit tight from there. Maybe stay behind him and try for turn 1. Let's ride on board with Callan. It's interesting. I noticed Callan's car was moving around, but if I go on board with Callan, then it looks like Hollywood's moving around. Hollywood runs a bit deep there. Callan makes that up to 6th place. And he's running good pace, same pace as the leaders. Only the gap's been at 10 seconds forever, just pretty about the qualifying. So we've got an EcoBoost now lapping Dutchman. EcoBoost still 3 seconds out of Fluffy and the train with Yastil and Ghost Killer. They're all about to come past. I think it was Dutchman who had the spin, must have had a second one. Lap 16, Fluffy goes in, so he's going to need to do a 19 lap second stint. Should have done one more lap there, I think, but he'll have to do a fuel saving second stint there. It might cost him second place. We'll see what his strategy is. So it's now EcoBoost by 3.8 from Ghost Killer, who's right ahead of Yastil. Looking at the fuel, Yastil might just jump Ghost Killer on fuel when they do pit. Possibly this lap or the next would be the logical time. Brunavane's now 4th with Callan right on the back. Hollywood must have pitted on the previous lap or spun, because Raventy's now 6th. I mean, Ken, go put some petrol in your generator. Look how hard Callan's fighting here. The old switcheroo, very wide entry, tight exit, and he's going past Brunavane for 4th place here. Side by side action, and he's definitely got the corner there that I wouldn't want to try hold it on the outside. And one of the longest right-handers in the game. Ghost Killer pace pits lap 17. Kalen goes through. So it's currently Yasteel second. EcoBoost leading. We'll see. Yasteel and Kalen look quite low and juicier, but I'm sure they'll make it round. Always impressed how these guys save tyres. My front left tyre running the same pace, 56s and 55s, is done after I think 10 laps. My next 3 laps I was struggling to get the car to turn in the right-handers. Base that warm front left. And we have EcoBoost pitting lap 18, 5% petrol. I'm sure we'll see Yasteel in. Don't make the mistake I didn't touch the grass on the inside because you'll get a 3-second penalty. 1% for Kalen, 2% for Brunavane. It's going to be interesting to see. Raventy comes in, Superman. So Ghost Killer got a 3-second penalty. He obviously did what I did, and that's going to cost him the second. He had jumped Fluffy, but that lets Sam and Fluffy back through. When they pit is the next question. EcoBoost exits. Let's see who's going to be second. Is it going to be Sam? Is it going to be Yasteel? Sam takes second. Yasteel right behind. Yasteel's jumped Ghost Killer and Fluffy in the pit stops there. Obviously with Ghost Killer getting that 3-second penalty, Fluffy pitted a lap or 2 earlier, and that's shaken up our podium positions. So Sam pitted on lap 15, so he's done quite a big undercut, but he's going to have quite a long stint here. So he's got second. They're on the same one-stop strategy, but Sam's going to have a really long, slow stop. So he made up 3 places, but can he hold them? They're still behind 1 second, half a second to Fluffy, but pushing Yas along. Ghost Killer 1.2 behind after that penalty. Kalen now is in a net genuine 6th place. I don't know if he was behind Brunavane or Hollywood. They're right behind him at the moment, but his last lap wasn't the quickest out lap of 1:17. So lost about a second on EcoBoost. So Yasteel center, and we have Fluffy but in the standard livery. Let's see. Kellen pace, been quite an interesting pace slash center helmet if you take a look at it. Let's see if we can get a view there. Awesome matte design. Got the Pace Motorsport and Sky Coffee on the visor. So we just go through the field like this quickly. See everyone's car and helmet. We've got the Royal Air Force. Hollywood in a Ferrari F1 livery. Some more Pace by Raventy. Looks like a Hamilton-esque replica helmet. Ali in his traditional plain black car, kennels, Mayfair gearbox, track art. You can see the TGN racing simulators. I'm sure Superman still in 12th place. He's only 2.6 behind kennels now after his spin earlier. Dutchman 1.8 behind him. Shape. So at the moment, after the pit stops and people getting penalties and people pitting early, EcoBoost is now 6.3 ahead of the pack. Sam's opened up second on Yasteel. Looks like no rain here, Don. No rain on this lobby. Fluffy Butt's still in 4th place. It's an interesting stretch now because guys like Fluffy pitted a lap or 2 early. They got to try and make the fuel last. Sam pitted 2 laps early, so he needs to do a 20-lap stint. Yasteel, EcoBoost, and I think it was Ghost Killer. They pit on lap 18, so they just need to do a 17-lap stint. So they have better tyres and shouldn't have to worry about fuel as much. That's great. If we look, you could see from first all the way down to, it was Kalen, Brunavane, get about 6-7 cars in the picture when we went to the TV mode. I do apologize about the background music. It decided to come on and I turned it off, but then everything went off, so we'll worry about that next week. It gives you something to listen to other than me. Hopefully it's drowning you out and not making you fall asleep. Fastest lap at the moment, 54.8 by EcoBoost. I think that just beats his qualifying time. It's around qualifying pace. Did a 55.6 so far on this set of tyres by Ravanti. Can't see what Kennel's fastest is. Just scrolling through some of the guys, see their best laps. 55.6 by Dutchman last time around. He's picked up the pace. 55.4 and 55.5 the last two laps by EcoBoost has definitely broken the train. Steele's still in second, or up to second. He's past Sam. The gap though is now 10 seconds. What happened to Sam? He's done 54.9 and then 256s. I don't think this has been a great lap for him. Maybe he had a slide wide or somewhere to let Steele through. Fluffy's right on the back of him now, and then right behind we've got Ghost Killer with Kalen Pace behind. So Kalen not too close to the lead, but he's only 4 seconds off second place in a nice train there. Here we go, Kalen doing another inside outside old switcheroo. And we've got someone coming into pit, Serious Sam. So he split his strategy. He wasn't going to do the 20 laps. He short fueled, that's how he jumped, and now he's got to do what I did and take a second pit stop, which is going to hurt. Kalen now up to fourth with Sam pitting, 1.6 behind Fluffy, constant 55s at the moment, so he's probably about the same pace as Fluffy, although Fluffy had a slow last lap, possibly being held up by Sam. I think the top second, third, fourth are all doing similar lap times at the moment, so they're going to have to really step it up a bit if they want to catch EcoBoost. Is now 12 seconds ahead. He's still in the 54s last time around. See what he does this time. What's lacquer about the late reveal races? There we go, new personal best and fastest lap of the race, 54.7. No wonder that gap's opening. He's still got it. I thought maybe he's burnt his petrol and not fuel saved, but I think possibly he was fuel saving the first stint to do the 18, and now that he only has to do 17 laps, he's pushing a bit harder. He's getting into 54.8, 54.5.2. He did a 54.9 and a 54.7. He's still in the 50 mid to high 55s. Fluffy but still second, 2 seconds behind Steele. KLM Pace sitting in fourth. You can call him Kalen Pace because that's who we're talking about. One of our OG races. Ghost Killer Pace sitting in 2 seconds almost behind Kalen, half a second ahead of Brunavane, and we can see second all the way to 9th, 8th in the same shot. There's a bit of a, basically the idea behind this race is a bit of a go-kart sort of feeling, a bit bigger than a go-kart track, but then the kart's also a bit bigger, so lots of downforce, lots of grip, not excessively fast, but yeah, you don't want it to be any faster for this track. Following up on the back, further back in the field, 8th place Ravanti, 23 seconds off the lead. Then Kennels is 33 off the lead, 10 seconds back off Ravanti. Sam, after his second stop, is now in 10th place, catching quite quickly though, back in the 55s. Superman is in 11th, and we have Jan Ali and Dutchman bringing up the rear. So the guys at Wargate relegated will be 12th, 13th, 14th and 15th will drop back to Pool 2 next week, so it's currently Jan Ali and Dutchman, but they're not too far behind. Manny and Sam need to make sure they don't make any mistakes and stay in Pool 1 to move on to next week, fight another day. doesn't look like they'll be bringing home too many points. But last 2 laps 55.8 and a 55.8 by EcoBoost. I don't know if he's turned it down a bit to save some petrol. Still got 11-second lead. Yeah, still 55.4 last time and 55.2, 55.5, 9 and 55.7 for Fluffy Butt. Fluffy's got Kalen right behind him. He's closed up from 1.5 back. He's only half a second. We're going to stay with this battle. Let's see if Kalen goes for that same move into the hairpin. Going to run it right around the outside and then cut back in. So since about lap 3, Kalen's only lost about 5 seconds off the leader, EcoBoost. Kalen trying to wide in out again, but a little bit early. Fluffy gets a bit of a slide there, so he's going to lose momentum down into the chicane under the bridge. Let's see if watch for Kalen to go wide here. Doesn't try to dive bomb him, he runs it around the outside, you can see, and now look, he'll turn it sharp, try to get on the gas earlier and get up the inside. Fluffy's wise to it this time. You just have to be patient and wait another lap. Two of our more experienced drivers battling it out here for 3rd place. Kalen definitely looks like he's got this, they got similar tyres, but I'm not sure, got a bit of disco movement on the cars there. Tyres are the same, but Fluffy's got less fuels. They both should have enough to make it through to the end now though. Kalen looking each and every corner inside outside. Should set him up now coming into the hairpin again. He's best overtaking position. See, yeah, looking wide, but Fluffy using his experience to park it on the apex, not let him get that cut inside. Slowing them both down, and Ghost Killer's catching up in 5th place. Only 5 laps to go. A nice little battle here for the podium. Just looking down the straight, it's spread out a bit. The position's further back. And there's only one other battle that's fairly close on track, so we'll stay here for a little while. On board with Kalen, you can see he's got a quarter of a tank left. Fluffy's just below that, driving well under pressure with Kalen right in his mirrors. One little slide, leaving the door open, and someone like Kalen will go through. So we've got a bit of a dive there, I don't know, some lag in there, side by side. Kalen goes through, but hard to see if there's any contact from the angle we were at. It seems to be quite laggy at the moment. So Kalen takes 3rd. Let's see if Fluffy's tyres are a bit... tyres are pretty much the same. Kalen just has a little bit of pace extra at the moment. I think that's going to have held him up enough time that Steele's now 3.6 ahead, so I don't think he'll be catching him. Kalen in quickly, it's opened 1.3 second gap. Fluffy and Ghost Killer is now the fight for 4th place. Ghost Killer doing the same as Kalen. I don't know if there's contact there, but Fluffy ends up going wide and onto the dirt, drops to 5th with Brunabane. Ghost Killer must have had a bit of contact because he waited, let Fluffy back through. For the low pools, that's how you do it. If you make a mistake, obviously you can't give the guy the time back, but you can wait for him. So they both lost 4 seconds. That brings Branavane into it. Well done to Ghost Killer, showing some Ghost Killer let Fluffy back through, but that's let Branavane get on the inside of him. Now the two of them are battling up into the last turn. We only have 2 laps to go. Ghost Killer takes 5th place back. Fluffy Butt holding on to 4th for the moment. Kalen's 7 seconds ahead, obviously, of that little incident in turn 1 last time around. It looks like the same thing, but this time there's no contact. Fluffy hangs it around the outside. Branavane tries to look on the inside as well. Well done Ghost Killer, getting through cleanly there. Ghost Killer pace goes up into 4th. I think Ghost Killer was 2nd in our championship or 3rd as well. So he needs all the points he can get. Current leader EcoBoost is out front. Got some disco music again in the background, apologies. While these guys are about to start their last lap up front, shout out to TGN Racing Simulators, Trackart, Zappa Gaming sponsors, and also some vouchers from the anonymous sponsor. Shout out to all those guys. Without you, I don't think we'd still race, but probably not be as enjoyable, not as much to play for. And then, yeah, well into the drivers, especially Mr. EcoBoost. I think will be my driver of today. Don't have anyone else to ask, but he is coming up to Lapian Alley. If you look at his times on the side there, he's been in the mid 55s the last 10 laps, 12-second lead. And here he goes to take round 4, KBR EcoBoost. See another great drive, also someone who deserves a big shout out. Yeah, Steel Pace, always a man with a plan when it comes to strategy, fuel saving. 2nd place. Kalen almost caught him in the end, 1.8 seconds further back. Kalen into the low 55s, fastest man on track the last 3 laps. Ghost Killer takes 4th, Fluffy hangs on to 5th, Branavane 6th. Jump back to Ravanti, 7th place. So unfortunately no commentary next week. Hollywood and Serious Sam 8th and 9th. Kennels in 10th place. He almost got caught by Super Manny. We have Jan Ali coming through, Dutchman already finished a lap down right behind KBL EcoBoost. So last finish on track is Jan Ali. Shot for joining us, guys. Everyone in the chat, it's good to have you with. Who was your driver of the day? There's no... Yeah, shout out Kendall, good call there. 12th to 3rd by Kalen, also good performance. I gave it to EcoBoost just on the domination, but yeah, definitely Kalen, yeah, still big shout out to the two of them as well. Let's go look, see some lap times here just before we go. So fastest lap was at 54.7. We saw from EcoBoost, 55.2 by Yasteel, Kalen 55.1, 55.2 by Ghost Killer, another 55.2 Fluffy Batch, 55.5 Branavane, Rav 55.3, 55.3 by Hollywood, 54.9 by Sam, 55. Sam was the only other guy in the 54s. 54.6 by Kennels, Hollywood 55.4. 55.9, sorry, Manny 55.4, Jan Ali 55.9, and Dutchman 55.5. So yeah, shout out to everyone. Hope you enjoyed that. Disappointed it didn't rain, but yeah, EcoBoost is a distinct driver now. I see he still has his KBR EcoBoost there, and maybe the distinct guys can send him 65 rain so he can change his PSN. But yeah, thanks to everyone. We'll chat to you next week with round 5.